Welcome to the Eric Avisar Show, part 4 of my UEFA Champions League preview show. We have Group D in the 2017-18 UEFA Champions League, the group stage of 2017. Look, this might be the strongest group from top to bottom, but it is not a group of death because there is a clear drop-off between teams 2 and 3. We have FC Barcelona, Juventus, Sporting Lisbon, and look, Olympiacos. Watch out for those pesky guys on the Olympiacos squad. They have made a habit of overachieving in the Champions League, but to make it out of the group stage here would be perhaps their most impressive feat yet. So, looking at Juventus and Barca, the clear 1 and 2 of the group. Two teams that are headed in opposite directions. Juve on the rise after finishing as runners-up in the Champions League last season. They put up a great fight against Real Madrid. Meanwhile, FC Barcelona are in total disarray. With Bartomeu in charge, it's been an absolute disaster on the transfer front. No strategy, tapping up players illegally, getting rejected, getting caught with their pants down by PSG, and losing Neymar after a failed bid for Verratti. I mean, the list goes on and on of Bartomeu's failures, turning a once proud club into a punchline. I mean, honestly, if Lionel Messi wasn't in the squad and there was a stronger third team, I would say there's a chance Barcelona doesn't make it out of this group. But Messi is still the best player in the world, and Barca still have plenty of star power, so they're going to make it out. Of course they will in this situation. But man, they are in trouble come knockout stage time. Juventus has such a thick, deep squad. So many quality players. Mandzukic, who scored a golazo in the Champions League last year. Pjanic, one of the most underrated players in all of Europe. The seasoned Giorgio Chiellini, obviously the OG of goalkeepers at this point. Gigi Buffon, incredible reflexes he has. The Argentine striking duo of Gonzalo El Gordo Higuain and Paulo Dybala, who is quickly becoming one of the best players in the world. And they just picked up Blaise Matuidi. So Juventus is stacked. They cannot be counted out as contenders to win the Champions League this season. Watch out for them. Barcelona, sure, they still have Piqué, they still have Mascherano, as good as it gets when it comes to a center back pairing. But Iniesta is getting older. Suarez still at his peak, of course, although his peak might be starting to run out soon. And then the loss of Neymar really, really hurts. MSN was perhaps the most lethal attacking trio in the history of world football, and now it's over with. Looking at Sporting Lisbon, that's a team that has had so many great players come through the club. Of course, they had, Cristiano Ronaldo. But, look, Fabio Contrao, Rui Patricio, one of the more underrated keepers. I mean, they have Brazilian defender Douglas. William Carvalho is a very solid captain to have leading the side. Not to mention Seydou Doumbia, who is capable of some magic and some flair himself. And, Costa Rica always proud to have Brian Ruiz representing that team. He is on Lisbon. So there are quality players in this side. They're going to pick up points. They're going to get results. But could they squeeze past Barcelona or Juventus? No, they can't. Olympiacos, not much name recognition here. I'm, somewhat familiar with Emmanuel Amanike, the Nigerian striker. Marco Marin, a classic Chelsea reject. His time at Stamford Bridge, an absolute disaster after a promising start to his career at Werder Bremen. He spent 4 years at Stamford Bridge, only made 6 appearances in that time. Was loaned out to 4 different teams before finally getting sold to Olympiacos, but has 4 goals to his name so far, so perhaps he could play a factor here. But, I just don't see Olympiacos having the firepower to even finish third in this group. So I think it's a pretty straightforward group here. Of course, 1 and 2 is up in the air, but I'm going to pick Juventus to win this group over Barca. I'm taking Juventus 1, Barca 2, Sporting Lisbon 3, and then Olympiacos finishing last. So thank you so much for tuning in, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel.